Did you have a nice flight?
Yeah, it was nice. I was one of the only few people with an empty seat next to me, and there was only like 2 rows per each, or like 2 seats per row. So it was nice. Just felt bad for the 2 college-age looking kids sitting next to me because they're tall guys, long legs. They were all cramped up, and I was stretched out between 2 seats.
Are we close to starting, or do I have time to make a coffee?
You have time.
Cool.
AZ crew is present and accounted for.
You sure about that?
No. I don't have food and I don't have coffee. This is gonna be a rough session.
All right. Are we all ready to go? Looks like we're ready to go.
Do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's jump in with the recap. Whoever would like to do that.
Okay, since Deborah's not here and my father did it last week, and now it falls on me to do the recap. So here we go. We opened the session last time with us exiting the mansion and the group essentially deciding that we were going to escort the princess back to the kingdom to see that she gets there safely. And so a few days go by, nothing really happens. We camp for a few nights out under the stars. And then one of the nights, we see some goblin scouts that come and try to investigate. Lan and Soot decide to follow them. They come across a goblin camp that looks like has been there for a long time. They kind of scout it out a little bit, and then another group of goblins come back, attempting to possibly inflict harm. Forkuppa insisted otherwise, but we don't really know what their true intentions were because Fissure threw a fireball at them at their grenades specifically that they had on them and blew them up kind of in a nuke fashion. So then after they blew up, we decided to go to the goblin camp to try to see what it was all about, to see if it needed to be dealt with. As we approached the goblin camp, Forkuppa had the idea to kind of play the fool and try to go in and be like, these are my people, they will let me pass. And they kind of let her pass, and then it fell through fairly quickly. So now we are midway through the battle in the goblin camp, fighting our way through and enjoying ourselves while we're at it.
Well done.
All right, take 1d6 of inspiration. And if you're all ready to go, let's, without further delay, let's pick up where we left off.
Do you want me to roll initiative or do you want me to hold up?
Yeah, go ahead and roll, let me drag your token onto the screen.
Alright.
Like over here. Yeah, right there somewhere. I'll let you get into position somewhere there amongst the party.
Okay.
And then roll initiative.
Right there's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right then. Sienna, looks like you are up at the top of the round. So, what would you like to do? You hear the sound, of course, to set the stage. You hear the sound of more goblin horns off in the eastern parts of the camp, behind most of those buildings and so forth, and the rallying cry of sounds like another war band of goblins coming into the camp, understanding that they're now under attack. But of course, the alarms. There's been a few of drum alarms going off throughout the camp, like a chain reaction throughout the battle. And there's been 2 more flares shot up into the camp in 2 different locations to create a web of illumination over the camp and probably 100 feet beyond the camp on the exterior. As the sound of more and more goblins coalesce to the east, what do you wish to do?
I guess I'll start making my way to that direction because I can't see a whole lot from where I'm at. Let's see. 10, 20, 30. Let's see, 1. Let me see. think I'm actually going to use my action to dash a little bit, and I might fly up some. Just want a better view. 15. And then can I just like go up 15 feet in the air?
Yeah, if you with your remaining movement, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
So you just
find
spread
a
your wings
little
and fly.
icon. Yeah, and I think that'll be my turn.
Okay, so you just fly up with the remaining bit of your movement. Soot, your turn.
Remind me, was I on the ground? I think I'm on the ground finally, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So we're just gonna move ourselves closer to that. Hey, Cuppa, what's going on over there? Is it exciting?
Shit's going down. So
Perfect.
expeditious. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Expeditious. Help would be appreciated.
Okay. Well, and then Ezekiel's chilling near you, right? I can't see him.
You see it.
Okay. So we're just gonna do a dash then. We're gonna hang out with Cuppa. And remind me, my bear has to take his own set or he takes part of mine?
So
I forget.
depends on what you want him to do, but he can move. He can spend his movement to move somewhere on your turn.
Yeah.
So if you want to move him somewhere, he can do that for free on your turn.
Okay.
But if you have him do some sort of action like dashing or something, I believe that takes your bonus action.
Okay.
Or if you want him to attack, that takes a bonus action as well.
Okay, so he can go 40 here. Oops.
I don't have him activated, Sienna. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll remember I'm 15, and if it comes up, I'll remind people or whatever.
That's on, yeah. Yep.
Cool. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna stop for now.
Okay. Aspen. She isn't here, so I wonder what she would do. Alright. She will move up to here. She will dash to get up to there. And now it's this goblin's turn, so he's going to come down from the wall and come over to here. He can see Ezekiel, so he's going to shoot at Ezekiel, I think. $23.
That definitely hits.
All right, 4 piercing. And then this goblin is dead. Taven, your turn.
Alright, well, I'm going to use my long strider to give myself a little bit of extra movement. And I am going to move there and in my turn.
All right, Ezekiel.
Okay. Ezekiel is going to charge at this goblin right here, and he's going to take a swing at him.
Okay.
Is a 16.
Miss.
Okay. He's going to swing again. 22.
Hit.
For 9.
Okay. So you hit the goblin boss with your greatsword. A little bit of blood squirts out on the ground as he sort of snarls up at you.
And then, 1 sec. Does this cost an action or 1 sec? That costs an action. Okay. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, that goblin's dead. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's see. Where is this goblin? Right there. Okay. Comes over to here and will shoot at Ezekiel, because that's the biggest target that he can see. Miss. Alright, this goblin also enter the fray. And you guessed it, he will shoot at the big paladin over there and miss. All right. Now it's this goblin's turn. He's dead. Vizier, your turn.
I'm gonna use my move to get here and then face step to this point and firebolt this goblin.
Oh, okay. All right, that hits. All right, 9 points of fire damage. So you hit that goblin that's sort of on the opposite side of land, right in the side of the head, and it singes in and kills him as,
That'll be my
as
turn.
he briefly yelps in pain before he dies. And that is your turn. Okay, his turn was next. He is dead. So is that goblin. And this goblin. Let's see. Okay, this one is action to dash. Get to there. Up your turn.
Alright. See. One. Three. And can I. Oh, so I can go one more. Shoot this goblin right here with my force ballista. Dang it. Missed. I'm assuming
Which
the 13.
who'd you shoot at?
This one kind of up more to
Uh,
the up and right.
Yeah, that misses.
Yeah. And then that was my bonus action. I want to shoot him with my fireball spell. Nat 20!
Nice. Yeah, so that definitely hits. Whoa.
22
Nice.
damage.
All right, so the fire bolt flies towards the goblin and at the last moment grows in size to the size of like maybe a watermelon. Singes through the goblin, and his upper torso is just missing now, and he falls over.
I was gonna say it should be 23 because my Fury of the Small just went up, but he's dead anyways.
Yeah, he's
I'll
dead.
change it for next time. Awesome. And that's my turn.
All right, Land, your turn.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Man's gonna keep running on the outside. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then he's going to... Actually, I'm gonna back him up to there. He's gonna... So, that's 5 feet. He's gonna go down these stairs right here.
Okay.
How is he gonna be able to get down without? How high? The wall's 60 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then he's going to. So that's 25. Then he's gonna dash. Okay, so he's like 5 feet from ground level, and that's his turn.
If you were brave, you could jump on the rooftop there and slide down.
Fuck it, I'm gonna be brave.
Like if you're trying to
ninja.
if you're trying to get to the ground without taking too much damage, if you intend to use movement towards the slope of the roof, it'll take an acrobatics check.
Let's fucking do it.
Or well, yeah, acrobatics, yeah. Because you're trying to land precisely on the slope to slide down and land on the ground. You can do that.
14.
All right, so you leap over and you almost don't stick the landing when you slide down. Your ankle almost gets caught in this little lip that's on the edge of the roof, but you jump at the last second. As it does sort of snag you, you do like this half gainer and land on your feet.
Okay, and Land is just gonna be like, okay, that was close. And then he's going to
It took your half your movement to do, by the way.
okay.
Yep.
So that was 5, 10, 15. So Land can get to there, and that will be his turn.
Okay. All right. Goblin Boss will return his attack on Ezekiel since he most recently took a swing. So he will pull out a scimitar and make 2 attacks. All right, miss. I guess they both miss. All right. Now this ogre screams as he storms into the camp from the north with the returning warband and closes the distance on Ezekiel. Now Ezekiel, this ogre is running up to you with this great club and swings on you. 22.
Yes, that hits.
All right, 8 bludgeoning as you're hit in the chest.
I'm down.
All right, you turn just in time to get hit in the chest with this great club. Your vision goes white as you just pass out and hit the ground. You hear this roar of an ogre with your last sort of conscious breath. This goblin's turn. Is this a dead goblin? No, this goblin's over here. Okay. All right, so he's gonna move down there. Sienna, your turn.
See. Guess can I cast what is it? There's mischief.
Yeah. So just 20-foot cube or wherever you like within range. Yay, the concentration script is working. Cool.
It's not the tool I don't think I'm looking for.
Measurement.
That's what it is. Okay. I always forget what it is. Okay. Let me change it to square.
Square, yeah.
Make it linger. Alright, sometime I will get this right. 15. I think it's a 20-foot cube.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah, 4 up and 4 down, yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll center it more over here then. I could get more of them. Go down a
Yep.
little. Basically, I'm gonna hit these 3. There. Okay. And that's where we'll aim it, I guess.
Okay. All right, so those 3 goblins there. The cube, okay. So when the cube appears, they don't have to make a save. It just let's see, roll again.
Oh, I guess so.
Roll. I don't. Yeah. Oh well, no. It depends on what. I guess it depends on what effect it is.
I guess
So
yeah.
roll.
Effect.
So
It's a
roll the
D4, I
d4.
think. Yeah.
Yep. So go ahead and roll the d4.
4.
All right. So molasses. All right. So drops of molasses just hover and sort of ink down. That whole area there is difficult terrain until the start of your next turn.
Cool. I guess that's something.
It'll make
Might
it.
slow him down a bit.
Slow him down. Yeah.
And how much inspiration do I have? Okay, I still got some. Can you hand off inspiration to someone who's unconscious? Does that matter?
No.
No. Okay. There's nobody here. I will.
Sorry, that was an
And I'll inspire for Kappa anyway.
Okay. Or couple you receive inspiration.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
I think she's about to get smashed, so I don't know. But that'll be my turn.
All right. Sit.
All right. So from where I'm standing, can I hit little what's his face? Where is he? The goblin boss guy? Or no?
He is here. I mean, you
Yeah.
certainly within longbow range. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with that.
Okay. Yeah, he's right there. He's got a clear shot on him. All right. That is a 15. No, that's a 17. That just hits.
Cool. And then the piercing one, right?
Make sure you toggle it back to normal.
Yep.
At some point, but that's you still hit. So click the.
Yeah, I got it. And then the damage one, right?
Yeah. Nice. All right, 7 piercing as you shoot an arrow in between Aspen and it, and it just goes right into his thigh.
And then I have one more move, is that correct?
You can shoot again if you wish.
Okay, let's do
With-
that again then.
Okay.
So this one.
All right, that definitely hits. All right, right between the eyes. As he leans down to grab the arrow on his leg that you sank into him just moments before, you hit him right in the side of the head as he leans down and gives you a clear shot to his head. He goes prone dead.
Now, can my beast do anything as well here?
Just move. But he can't do any actions or anything since you've already spent. You can, with your bonus action, if there's things that you can use your bonus action for him to do, then yeah. But
I don't quite understand bonus action. Can you explain that a little bit?
yeah, sure. So on your turn, you have a set of, like a pool of things that you can do on your turn.
Right.
One of which is your action.
Yep.
And you'll see that listed on just about any of your spells. Will list that. Let me see if I can actually pull up just go straight from the compendium. Might be the best thing. Let's see. Okay, it's loading. Give it a second. It's popping up, but okay, here we go. As my page refreshes. So basically, since it's taking forever to load up, I'll just get verbal with you until I can get the compendium to load up. So your action, there's a list of things like attacking, casting a spell. Um, you can use your action to dash, which that will double your movement speed.
Right.
You can use your action to dodge, which means you can focus on defending yourself from an impending attack. So if somebody were to run up to you, it would give them disadvantage on an attack against you, since you are preparing for them to hit you.
Okay.
You can also use your action to disengage. That means you can move out of range of anyone without provoking an opportunity attack. Because if you're standing next to someone, let's say that warg next to you was alive right now, right?
Mm.
If you were just to use your movement, move away from him, he could use his reaction to attack you because you gave him an opportunity attack. However, if you use your action to disengage, he wouldn't be able to do that.
Gotcha.
You can use your action to help, which means that would give an ally advantage on their next attack or ability check. But you have to be within 5 feet of them, and it has to be something, some sort of attack roll that they get advantage on or ability check. Or you can use an object. Like interacting with a lever on the environment, like a key item or, dousing a campfire, something like that.
Okay.
Turning a valve, and it creates this item or something. Something like that would fit the description of use an object. Your bonus action is a smaller action you can take in addition to your main action. Some of the spells require a bonus action, and it should be listed on the spell. Like I think, what is it, Hunter's Mark? Hunter's Mark, I think, is a bonus action, if I'm not mistaken. Healing Word is a common one. So also, if you have 2-weapon fighting, but you have archery, but if, for example, if you had 2-weapon fighting, you could attack with the second weapon. And of course, a rogue can use their cunning action, most importantly, which allows them to do a lot more on a bonus action than most of us can do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
So for you, when it comes to your beast companion, that's really where we gotta sort of make sure we got it straight as far as the beast companion, because I know for your companion to do certain things, it takes your action or your bonus action for it to do so, and it should be listed on your thing, on your beast companion thing, on your sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Which we can go over again if you wish.
No, it's okay. I'll read up on it. Just keep going for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. I think it's still your turn though. I mean, you shot the Goblin King. You can move your pet. I know your pet can move. And if you still have your bonus action, I think there's things you can tell it to do on your bonus action.
Like he's got the ability to move 20 feet straight ahead, and he can attack.
He can move.
That's what the charge thing is, right?
He can move 40 feet actually.
Right, but he can move 20 straight in a straight line. So technically, couldn't I hit Mr. Guy in front of me if I so chose?
Let's see, charge. If the beast moves straight towards the target, then it hits the maul attack on the same turn. Can you command your beast to attack with your bonus action?
I don't know where that would be.
Let's take a look. I think we can find it pretty quickly on your sheet. All right, let's take a look. So that is going to be Ranger's Companion. Okay. All right, 3rd level. Okay, we already summoned the creature. It obeys your commands. It takes its turn on your initiative. On your turn, you can command the beast where to move, which doesn't require an action. So you can tell it to move 40 feet in any direction. Now you have to use your action to command it to attack. So since it would require it to maul the target,
Mm-hmm.
he unfortunately would not be able to charge. You see what I mean? Because it requires him to be able to use his maul attack, and that requires you to use your action, which you've already done by shooting your longbow. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna stay put then.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Don't matter if you don't feel bad if you forget shit like this. You can ask anybody at the table. I forget stuff all the time. And you have to check. You have to check me on it. Trust me.
It'll happen again.
It will.
I'm just giving Lan enough time to go get some coffee.
Perfect. I already had too much, or I would brew another cup. I'm kind of contemplating it though, but I've had a lot already. Aspen's turn. Aspen is raging, so she will move around here next to your beast, or it would make more sense for her to move next to Forcuppa, I think, and sort of try to position herself in a way to attack. And Aspen is going to use her big ass shovel, I assume, because she's obsessed with that weapon. She's going to recklessly rage and spore strike. Yep. So she's going to recklessly attack with the big ass shovel. That will hit. And then she's going to again, and that will hit. All right, Aspen runs up raging. This small mushroom just landing 2 massive hits on this ogre. Okay, that's all right. A lot of damage. Okay. Now it's this goblin's turn. This goblin is going to shoot. Where's the goblin sheet? There it is. It's gonna shoot at Forcuppa with his short bow. 11.
Misses.
Okay. He is going to close the distance on you, and this warg is going to run in and close the distance on you as well and attack you. So this warg is a part of the returning warband with the ogre. As they run in, this warg running goes in to bite you. 19.
That hits.
All right, 8 piercing. Make a strength saving throw. Hey, you were knocked prone Forcuppa from the bite as this warg just runs around and just pounces on you, bites you as you hit the ground. Your Forcuppa shouting in pain. Taven, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna move there. And I am going to shoot from my hand a stone column in this direction.
Can you projectile it like that?
It says I create a stone column 5 feet wide, 10 feet long, at a point I can see within range. So.
Okay. Very well. Stone column 5 feet wide, 10 feet long. All right, so it can go 10 feet, 5 feet wide, and then can be 10 feet long to a point you can see within range, erupting from the earth's surface. All right, so 5 feet wide, 10 feet long. To a point. Okay, yeah, gotcha. So it's like a line. Just.
Yep.
All right. Dex saving throw. A failure, they're knocked prone and pushed by the pillar. Okay, got it. All right, so all of those creatures. 5 feet wide, 10 feet. Okay. All right, so let's start with the ogre. So he must make a dex save. He fails and is knocked prone and pushed, I guess, to one of the sides. The goblin gets an 18. The warg gets a 20. So the ogre fails for sure. Any direction on their choice on a success. Okay, on a failure, knocked prone, pushed by the pillar. Solid object. I don't guess it does because it's the ground, so it pushes him 10 feet. So it pushes him pretty far still. So that would be a 10-foot push for the ogre. Or actually, no, it's 10 foot from the attack, isn't it? So that's more like right here. There we go.
So he'll take 1d6 for every 10 feet he moves.
Yep. So he's pushed at least that feat. Or so that's 2d6 then. So roll 2d6 of damage for him. Okay. All right. As he sort of tumbles, sort of roaring in sort of pain as he grimaces and gets back to his feet slowly.
Alright, then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to move down here.
The other
and
two,
end my turn.
the other two move on a side of their choice, so that'll be there and there. Okay. All right. Now this goblin is going to run in and attack Aspen. Oh wait, he gets advantage and misses. This goblin is going to shoot at Taven. 22.
That hits.
All right, 5 piercing. As Ezekiel, I need you to make a death saving throw, please. Okay. The warg's turn. So this warg is going to run in 10. Up to Forkuppa. And is going to now she is prone, so it's going to get advantage on the bite on you, Forkuppa. 20.
That hits.
All right, 10 piercing. And you don't have to make another save because you're already prone. As this other warg comes in and sees you as a small, vulnerable target, and just runs in, biting into you. As the other ogre comes in, and he can make it to here. He is going to throw a javelin at Taven. This ogre is back here. Right. So that'll be national 20 on Taven. So Taven, this ogre-sized javelin flies over the heads of Aspen and several dead goblins, and just hits you right in the ribs for 19 piercing. Then this ogre shouts, "Fizir, your turn."
That's close enough.
I mean, that's basically it, yeah. Shocking bell. Okay, so you coalesce another bolt of
Sculpt,
lightning and
course.
shoot it. Right, yeah. So it when it lands, it sculpts around for Cuppa and Aspen. And any other friendlies I met? No, okay. So it's going to bounce between the targets. All right. So let's start with the ogre. 3, not very good. The goblin to the right of him. Fail. The warg. Fail. The goblin just to the south of the warg. Fail. Goblin south of him. Pass. I don't think it matters. And that's all the targets. Wait, no, the warg up here. The warg up here is just in it. So the warg up there on the edge of the roof up there. 14. I don't. Does that? What's the DC?
That is the DC. 14.
Okay. So he just makes it. All right, cool. Everyone else but that goblin down there fails. Okay. The damage is 11.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, 11. All right, so that ogre takes 11. This goblin dies from it. Okay, the warg takes 11 damage. This goblin, I think, takes half. And this goblin out here dies. Just on the edge over here. Okay, I gotta move him over so I can give him the X. There we go. Put him back there. Okay, and that one makes it so he'll take a little bit. All right, cool. There we go. That bounces between and sculpts around your allies. Anything else?
I want to make that my arcane strike.
Okay, what's Arcane Strike do?
Once per long rest, your spells deal an additional 1d4 necrotic or radiant.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the additional damage. Nice. All right, we'll add that to the affected targets. Okay, cool.
So that will be. I'm gonna use my last face step to get out of the way.
Okay, you managed to kill that goblin. That's nice. Nice. All right, cool.
That is it.
Okay, for Cup, it's your turn.
Okay, I'll use half my movement to stand up. Take the prone off later. And I'll do a second level cure wounds on Ezekiel.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, take off the first 3. I forgot to uncheck period small. So, 14.
Hey, Ezekiel, you receive 14 points of healing, and you're conscious and prone. Anything else for Cuppa?
And I want to shoot my force ballista. Oh, it's range. Let's see. Can I shoot it at this ogre right here? Kind of
Yeah.
separate away from everybody else. Shoot him.
He's prone, I believe, from that attack from Taven, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he's prone from that, so you have disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Well, then can I change it? I didn't know he was prone. Can I
Yeah,
change
you
it
can.
to something else?
Right, you can do. Yeah, if you want to do something else, you can. But I was just looking back. I'm like, I think. Let me make sure. I think that attack knocks him prone. Stone column. Knock prone. Yep. All right. Yeah, he is prone.
Then can I direct it to the other ogre behind the warg?
Yeah. He is not prone. So 22 will hit him in this case.
It's 10 damage.
All right. It hits the shoulder of the ogre's like as he goes to pull out another javelin.
And that's it.
Lan, you're up.
Okay, so Lan is going to run up, and as he does, get over here. Okay, I'm gonna put him over there. Lan is gonna pull up his mask, and he's going to get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Then what's the range on this? Well, first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna use that with his bonus action. So that's fuck it. I'll just do that for now, and then can't do that. All right. I'm gonna shoot. Am I gonna shoot? Yeah, I'm gonna shoot this guy, the warg.
Okay.
All right. Take out my short bow. 15.
That hits.
For 9 piercing.
All right, you hear a yelp as you hit him right in the chest, sort of.
And then I'm going to try and shoot him again. 11.
He dodges out of the way.
And then Lan in this distorted voice is going to say, we may want to think about leaving. And that'll be it.
All right, this ogre is going to run over to Fazir. And roaring, swing his great club. 22.
Yeah,
All right, 11 bludgeoning.
I'm down.
All right, you are knocked down. Sienna, the ogre moves around to the rear of Soot here and closes the distance on the Soot with the rest of his movement. Okay. Sienna, your turn.
Well, if I could see Fazir, that would be nice.
He's around a house. He's like just around the house that it's in between you and him. 2 houses actually.
Well, I'm just gonna move and hope he comes within my vision. Or
Couldn't you just ask where to go, right?
I mean, yeah. Sorry, just
I mean, you see me, right?
yeah, I see you.
If you come to me, he's just north of me.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if I could see him if I went this way, because I'd rather go that way. But
No, you won't see him there.
okay. Well, I'll back up then.
I'll allow it. Usually I don't, but I'll allow it in this instance. Yeah.
Because I feel like
guys-
hypothetically, I maybe would have seen him gone that direction. I just myself
you guys-
personally did not see it.
You guys can talk tactics with each other if you want. Just don't
Okay.
try to don't push any player into a certain direction with their resources. That's all I ask. But yeah, y'all can certainly discuss like what you think would be. Ultimately, it's up to the player what they do with their turn. But yeah, sure, you guys can talk about that stuff. I'll be a little lax on that.
Oh, and I think I see. Oh, I think I can see most people. Okay. Actually, first let's do the square thing, or the mischief thing.
Mischief thing. Yep. So
Yeah. And I think I'm also gonna move it 10 feet because I can, because I want to try to get the warg in it too.
go ahead and draw it
I'll
again,
just
please.
move it- Yeah, I'll just draw it again. Center.
Make it linger, please.
Yeah, I put it on linger. Is it not lingering?
I don't see it anymore.
Oh, well, I put it on linger. I could still see it. All right, so I want it there now, I guess.
Okay.
So that should have shifted it about 10 feet, I think.
All right. Roll d4. All right. Now
So-
effect number 2. What's that?
I'm looking to post it.
All right, bouquet of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dex saving throw or be blinded. Okay, so these flowers just fluff up into the cube as this fragrance sort of washes by from behind you. You see these petals just swirling around in this cube, and then with this mixed in with this violin music from Sienna, she sort of snickers to herself. So the ogre will go and fail. See, he has horrible dexterity, and he is blinded. So the ogre is blinded from it. Let me move him for a second because I can't find the blinded thing. There we go. Okay, I'm moving back. I think he was here. Yeah. All right. The warg must make save 13, and that just fails. So he is blind. Hey, the warg is blind as well. Who else was in it? That's it. All right, cool. So you are managed to blind the ogre and that warg.
Nice.
Huge, actually.
And then I don't think that takes up my action either. That's just what it
No,
does.
No, it
Yeah,
just has that.
I was
yeah.
just saying to throw it out there, but
No,
I'm
yeah, it
gonna
just
use my bonus action to cast Mass Healing Word.
Okay.
Did it work? Oh, yeah.
as long as you're within range of
Okay.
whoever you can see within
Oh,
60
I
feet.
should
It's a long
probably
range.
see. Yeah, it's up to 6 creatures that I can see within 60 feet, I guess.
Yeah, if you need to move to a spot where you can see first, I mean, yeah, you have to have sight on everyone
I
that
think,
you intend to
as
target.
far as I can tell, because I want Vizier, Ezekiel, Orcuppa, Aspen. That's 4 people, and they should all be within the range.
Yeah, they're definitely. It's 60.
Let me
It's got a 60
see
range.
if
It's got a long range.
I think land's barely within range, maybe. I feel like if I think it'll drop the thing if I try to measure it, but
No,
if
he's
he's at full health, it doesn't matter. But
well, he's not in your sight, anyways. He's behind
oh,
buildings.
is he up top? Oh well, I
No.
could see his icon, but if you can't actually see him, if there's like a height difference or something, for land.
Oh wait, you're flying.
Yeah, well, I'm like 15 feet in the air. Oh wait,
Oh,
is that,
well, no,
no,
you're
everyone
not.
else should still be within range, but
Well,
I don't
no,
know
then
if
you're
land
not.
is.
Then no, you wouldn't be tall enough to see over the building to see land. So
Okay,
no.
well then land can deal because he's got enough health anyway.
Let's
I mean, I
see.
can give it to Sud, but I think she's also full.
All right, you can't see
So,
Taven and Lan. You can see.
so I guess Vizier,
Uh,
Sud, Forcuppa, Ezekiel, and Aspen. So I think those are the only people I can see.
Sure. All right, Vizier. So you
I guess I
receive.
get 6 healing. That's something.
So those targets announced by Sienna, you receive 6 points of healing from her mass healing word spell, and you still have your action.
Thank you.
Maybe I will Vicious Mockery the Warg. That's by Forcuppa.
Okay.
Can't think of any insults. Oh, it's good damage though.
You failed. So you launch an insult at the warg, and it manages to kill it. So it's blind and can't see. So some sort of blind warg joke would be pretty funny. As it kills it.
I guess I could do a similar joke and be like, or how do I guess you should be glad I blinded you so you don't have to see how ugly you are anymore. And then they die. Jeez.
Yeah, you can hear it whimper sadly as it gets roasted brutally into death, and just crumbles over and dies.
It's vicious mockery, okay? It's not supposed to be nice, Lance.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, yeah. She literally killed someone with it. It's not supposed to be like, oh, he just friendly, bunnies and rainbows dies. No.
I
Make
think
sure when we kill Lan, it's full on. I'm talking rated M Game of Thrones style death. No, I'm kidding.
anyway,
All right, let's
I
go.
think that's pretty much all I can do.
Good round. Soot, you're up.
Alright, so I'm going to attack Mr. Man right in front of me here with some wrist blades.
That hits.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
We're going to do that, and then can we have... So now I can back away, right? Like now I can run back. Yes?
If you hit with your wrist blades, does it? I mean, yeah, you can use your movement to run away if you wish. He has his reaction still, so if you do that, he will use it to try and hit you as you run.
I see.
But only once, and you can still move.
How about this?
Now,
can I have my bear come at him?
You can move your bear to him. Let's see. You have to have an action. You just use your action for the wrist blades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So since you use the attack action for that, you can't have the bear attack him, but you can have the bear move closer.
Okay, let's do this then. Let's have the bear just move up a little bit here.
If you want, we can take back the wrist blades attack, and you can let your bear attack instead. Do you want to try that?
No, let's stick with what we got. I already committed.
All right.
Commit and go fast. No, we'll stop there.
I do allow take backsies.
Okay.
Like every
Well-
once in a while. Depends on what it is. Something like this, yeah, I'll be nice to you.
It's alright. So
You're
you don't
learning.
know- you don't know what you're doing yet. Alright, no, it's good. I'm good.
No, it's not like that. It's just
I'm good.
I don't want to brutalize anybody.
I
Just
appreciate it.
third session, and Aspen, you're up, and she's doing quite well actually. She took tough. It was a really good call here because she's hanging in there. So yeah, I think she would actually probably yeah, she'd probably come over here to help you guys, I imagine. Alright. Aspen shows up. She's going to reckless attack with the shovel on the ogre twice. And those are 2 hits. The first hit kills the ogre. He, like, when she hits with this small mushroom folk creature, just takes the shovel and just cracks into the ribs. It creates this shock wave through its body. As she knocks it onto the ground, it tumbles over to the side. And after a vicious hit, she has no more movement to do an extra attack on anything else, so she'll stay there. Alright, this warg sees Forcuppa and will close the distance here on Forcuppa and attack Forcuppa. Oh wait, Ezekiel's prone, right? Yeah, it'll attack Ezekiel. Natural 20. Alright, that's
Hey, Ezekiel.
23
I am back
points.
down.
You're down again, okay. So the warg runs up and bites Ezekiel before he can get up, understanding that this huge paladin could be risk. Taven, your turn.
Well, that just completely changed what I'm going to do. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I am going to use my bonus action first. Give myself focused aim. And I'm going to attack that guy with Taven's Earthen Grasp.
Okay, go for it. Strength save for the warg. Okay, let's see. That is a 6. So that's a fail for sure. He'll take 6 bludgeoning. And if he fails this, is he grappled by the hand?
He is.
Alright, this massive earthen hand just sprouts up.
He's restrained, yep.
And restrains the warg in place right in front of you for Cuppa. Squeezing it, the warg sort of yelps in pain. Alright.
Well, and since I can't move, I'm going to end my turn right there.
Alright. This goblin is going to move up here and shoot for Cuppa with a short bow. 11. That'll miss, I think, for Cuppa?
Yep.
Okay. Ezekiel, death saving throw, please. Okay. This warg is dead. Alright, so this guy's blind until, I think, Sienna's start of your turn.
Yeah, which the status will change or whatever.
Okay, so he has to see where he's going to go here. Alright, he ends up sort of crashing through these tents and going south. You can't see. Fazir, your turn, you're up, I think you're prone, right? Yep.
Yeah, I'm used to
All right.
making the movement to get up. Thanks, Sienna.
I will thumbs up him.
Guess I'll bonus action dash. 2, 3, 4, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. For Kappa.
We'll do another cure wounds on Ezekiel, just first level this time. Just the 7, not the 3. Tell him to stop falling, and then shoot my force ballista at the ogre here again.
Okay. I think he if he's blind, I think you might have advantage. I think, right? Because let me check. Blinded. Real quick. Blinded creature. Yeah, attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
Oh, cool. Just roll again and see if I get a nat 20. Yeah,
Wow.
another one. Let's go.
Okay. That for sure hits. So coalesces this massive amount of force energy and shoots at the ogre. Holy shit.
25 damage. That's my turn.
Okay. Nice hit. Lan, your turn. As you hear this, you see this massive cannon just crash into an ogre.
Uh, 10, 20. Land's gonna get right there, and he's gonna take out his short bow to attack the goblin. $13.
On which one? That one?
Yeah.
That misses.
Right. Try again. 21.
That'll hit.
For 9.
All right, right in the chest, and he falls over dead.
And that'll be it.
Okay. All right, this ogre's dead. Sienna, your turn.
I guess I'm gonna move the thing again just a little bit to make sure he's fully encased, even though it probably still affect him. Probably move. Too big. Or I guess I think that was probably this square. All right. I'm gonna move it a little bit, and then I guess I'll roll to see what effect takes place. 4. I think that was the molasses one again, so we shouldn't be blinded, but it's difficult terrain.
All right, yeah, the molasses sort of just rains down sort of in the area grotesquely and creates the difficult terrain in that area. So definitely for the ogre, he's not blind anymore, but now he's now his movement is halved while he's in the square.
Yep. And I think I'm going to cast Mass Healing Word again, because people will be low still.
All right.
This is my bonus.
All right, 7 points of healing to announce who you're targeting.
I guess 4 Cuppa, Ezekiel, Vizier, Aspen, and Soot if she needs it. I
Okay.
think pretty much the
So-
same people as last time.
Okay. So Soot, if you need any healing, you receive 7. And everyone else, the announced, receives 7. All right, very good. As this harmonious violin sort of sound sort of washes over you all, healing up your wounds.
And I guess for my action, I'm going to do Vicious Mockery again, but I'll do it against the ogre over here and be like, "You're so slow, I bet you couldn't catch up to us now."
On which target?
The ogre,
ogre, right?
that's in my square.
Okay, vicious mockery fails. It kills him.
I am like so mean. I think I've killed 3 things with Vicious Mockery so
Hey, you're
far, and
thinking it-
2 of them more today.
Yeah, you're thinking about getting rid of that spell, I think.
Yeah,
Ah.
because the first few times I used it, it did not go well, or they
Yeah.
kept saving. I
Alright,
guess these creatures are dumber, so they're falling for it more easily.
yeah. They're easy targets to it, as you can see. Alright, cool. So there you
I
go.
think that's it for me.
Alright. So he just dies in the molasses, sort of were raining all over him. Soot, your turn.
Okay, we're gonna take my blackberry there and send him to that warg. Is that what that is over there?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna charge him. How do I do it now? I forget because the hit points thing is weird, right?
Yep. So the beast, you're gonna command him to charge. So he runs in, and go ahead and roll your maul attack on the beast, beast of the land's sheet. And if he hits,
Dang it! I almost had a coin.
let me see. What is the warg's AC? I think it's 13. Okay, so that misses. So he charges. He tries to charge, but the warg jumps out of the way before he can charge into him. So that took your action.
Okay.
Okay. Still have
So
your
what do I
bonus,
have?
of course.
Yeah, let's move myself up a little bit.
Okay.
And I think we'll stop there.
Okay. Let's see. Aspen's turn. So he's going to run up to the warg and try to put it down once and for all with her big ass shovel. She's so excited, man. I know she wishes she could be here. As she lands with 15, I think. Yeah, I think that yeah, AC's 13. And she will definitely cleave or smash the face in on the warg with this shovel. It's a grotesque pop and crunch as it just dies violently and hits the ground. That will be the end of combat.
We
As you
now
guys-
have Spirit Buster HQ.
Okay. Do you want to come out of turn-based mode for a moment, or? I say it's an appropriate time to.
Probably.
Okay, I mean, if something happens, you'll go back in initiative. Like if another goblin shows up or something, but I'll keep an eye on that because that is my job. But I would say there are no more waves, so I think you're in the clear to come out of it.
Four Cup was gonna ask, are all the goblins this awful to people, or is it just these ones? It's just these ones, right?
90,
I haven't had a lot
90-10
of.
ratio.
Yeah. Okay.
The ones that live in civilized society usually are quite kind and understanding.
That makes me feel better. Makes me look bad. I don't like it. Give goblins a bad name.
How long to search the entire property for like hidden tunnels or back entrances? I think we found a fortified position that we could rest for the night if we can make sure there's nothing around that might surprise us.
Do you think any more would come back, or is this? Do you think this is all of them? Because some of them might come back because they were sending out multiple players, so there might be more of them that would come back if we try to sleep here.
Ezekiel will attempt to stand up and he'll say, "We do have a resident scout," and he'll look at Lan and he'll say, "You want to go check?"
I'll help him if he wants the help. Basically,
Are you talking from another dimension?
Yeah, Lan will go around checking. Yes, for any secret ways into the camp besides the main gate that we came in.
Okay. First, let's. Okay. All the map is lit up. Never mind. All right. So yeah, you guys are in the camp. And Lan, you are suggesting to go back towards the entrance, like the gate, perhaps.
Well, do we know if the camp is clear at this point, or is this more of just a rest, like a break between waves of enemies?
You stand around the camp and you don't really hear the echoing sounds of the drums and horns that you heard from the returning warband that just came back. So you don't hear those horns anymore. You are assuming that the creatures that returned were the ones returning to the sound. Now, you do, in the aftermath of this, hear quite a lot of goblins running away from the camp, like retreating. Like you can see that from across the camp. Like a lot of them are just like escaping at this point.
Lana's gonna say, I think we look for loot, and then I think we get back on. Then we get out of here, because for all we know, they.
The princess? Isn't she chilling outside with Mr. Haagen-Dazs? Right?
Yeah, I mean, we can magical earring them to pack up camp and bring it here if the place is security or secure.
Was this during an overnight we went to this fight?
Yeah.
So can we move on then? If we do some looting and move on towards where we need to go?
I think that's what Lan was suggesting, or
Oh.
at least beginning to. Yeah.
My bad.
It say first and foremost we should at least go and check on the princess, see if him or her and Aldrich and Mr. H are okay. And then or at least message them, and then once we know they're okay, we can continue with the rest. But keeping them safe is our first priority for now, because we are their escorts.
So, well, so you want to look around the camp?
We
Investigation checks.
Do it.
All right.
Jesus, woman with your 20s.
I mean, well, that'll kind of do it there.
Poor Cuppa is looting the bodies with great prejudice.
I mean, I don't think you did. You use your inspiration? You have inspiration.
Do I need to add it on top of a nat 20?
I mean, I doubt it. I was just saying. I don't know what sort of BC level loot we could find. I'm sure 27 is more than enough, but it only lasts for like 10 minutes, so not that you have to use it, but
Okay. So, for Cup and Fazir, do a very thorough investigation of the camp. I'm assuming, like the bodies and maybe throughout the camp. I would assume. Like, do you go in tents and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say due to your high check, you're I mean, you're very effective at this. Like, you go into the tents. Of course, it's not very complex. Creatures were goblins. They weren't very secretive. Plus, it's very mundane here. So you are able to go through their belongings, and you uncover like in the floorboards like a hidden stash of the goblin boss's tent in the middle, and you find quite a bit of stuff.
We can identify it in the morning.
Yeah, like when they find it, poor Cuppa's gonna look at Visir and Mr. Hagabagadaka taught me how to find stuff real good. Because he knows how to hide things, and so he knows where people usually hide stuff, so he found stuff.
Okay, so I'll just explain to you, at least monetarily, what you find in this hidden stash. You find 500 gold pieces, 400 silver pieces, and an additional 100 gold pieces in this coin pouch that's hidden in a false flooring of a box you find. False flooring's kind of bent and ruptured, so it was easily found and revealed. You also find this pearl and a belt.
I think they would take the stuff first and then go back to their original camp with like the princess and everything and kind of look at it further to where we would identify things there.
Okay,
Just to get out of the encampment.
Okay, so in addition to that, you found a cloak and a wand, and you find some trinkets, rings, and art pieces worth 50 gold pieces. So if you're just gonna sell that shit, then just add 50 gold to the amount if you want, or if you want to use the trinkets and rings and art pieces individually for things, let me know. But it's more or less minor loot, unless you want to use it for any reason.
What was it? I got the one pearl belt art pieces. What else? Was there something else I was missing?
Cloak, a wand,
Oh,
a pearl, a belt, and then this additional loot like these small trinkets, rings, and art pieces, like art pieces worth 50 gold pieces in total.
I think we would just bring it all back and then kind of decide what to do with it later.
Okay. Cool deal. That's what you find. Because you're going. Okay. You go ahead and you're able to take your time and carve that. Make a performance check to see if it comes out legible. You try your best, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't come out very well. But you just kind of shrug and look around as if they would probably not even notice in the first place.
Cool, cool.
All right, Ezekiel. Aldrich checks back in with you and asks, "Yes, what's going on your end?"
The
He
goblin
he, re-
campus, or
he reports that he's fine. Him and Leora are fine.
Ezekiel will tell him that the goblin camp is cleared out, and that we're kind of using this as a possibly temporary base to kind of rest up and situate ourselves. So, if they want to meet us here, that would probably be advisable. Do they know where the goblin camp is? I don't think so, correct?
Yeah, Aldrich's really good at tracking. He can find it. So yeah, if y'all were staying here, Aldrich will say, "Well, that makes sense. All right then. I think we'll just pack up some things and just move what we can to there."
Cool.
And after a while, he does arrive with Leora, and they both look around, and Leora looks around like ominously, like, "Is this safe here?" As she looks around.
At the very least, it has walls that people will have to get through to try to get to us, so it's something.
Oops. Did not mean to pull her hand out onto the screen. All right, cool. That's what I meant to do. There we go. All right, cool. So they do arrive after some time.
And then just want to double check Mr. Hagenbach is with them.
He is, yeah. He eventually comes around to. I just didn't get to pulling his token on.
No, you're good. I just wanted to double check. Because when he shows up, she's gonna be all excited. She's like, "Mr. Hagenbach, I found this, and I found this," and like just like pulling out things, and then like I killed some bad people. It was awesome. Just a little bit of an adrenaline high.
Okay. He sort of looks. He looks around. As you're going around excited, he's like, "Well, remember what I told you, right? This is a great opportunity for tinkering. Now, let's go around and see what else we can find."
And she's like, "Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's go, do it."
He nods and just runs off and begins to shuffle through a lot of the other tents towards the south. Even though you guys found pretty much all the actual loot, he's looking for other like tinkering shit now. Okay, Vizier, you on trance? All right.
Before I would have tranced, would I be able to sense which of the trinkets have magical properties?
on a check as you sort of focus your mind.
Kind of, I guess, like a pre-trance ritual.
Sure, you could, yeah, just run your Arcana check before you trance. Very well. The pearl, the belt, and the cloak all have strong magical properties.
I'll ask work up. Can I hold on to these items, and I'll wait. Whenever I get out of my trance, I'll identify them and then go back into trancing.
Oh yeah, that's fine, because you helped find them, and I'm sure Mr. Hagenbach wouldn't mind because he's going to look at other things too.
Leora looks around. This is quite impressive. Huh. You all are quite formidable, Leora says. I knew I chose great company.
Ezekiel is going to kneel down near this building over here. I'm assuming he's small now. I'm assuming the enlarge effect wears off, correct?
Yeah. After, what is it, like a round or something? Or not a round, I mean like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do resize back to normal.
Okay. He's going to go over here. He's going to kneel down next to the building, and he's going to start doing this.
Prayer of healing. Okay, so you begin to the 10-minute casting time of prayer of healing. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then once that finishes, I'm going to give up to 6 creatures. Myself, Aspen, Forkuppa, Fizir, and Taven. All of us are getting that many hit points. Plus 5, so 16. 16 total.
Okay. All right. 16 HP to the targets of prayer of healing. 6 creatures. All right, there we go. Hey, so what else are you guys doing? So are you guys setting up camp and long resting here? Is that the general idea?
Probably.
Say, you guys feel good about it? I know you guys did some looking around.
As far as loot, the roll that was made earlier, that's all the loot in the camp. Unless you want like the dismal shit that they use to, I mean, there's other shit around, like the buildings and so forth. Yeah. As far as like valuables, I'm just saying all that's been looted already, just to let you know.
So long rest and then get up and move on.
Oh yeah, the flares would eventually die out in the camp, so let's turn the flares off. Let me add some lights to the fire, I guess, because the fires would be kept going.
Have we already discussed what time it would be at this point? Because it's still like late into the night, correct?
It's late, yeah, it's probably close to midnight.
Okay. Ezekiel is going to go into one of these little huts over here, and he's going to pass out.
Toot and Blackberry are gonna cozy up together near the side of this building here. And I give him good head pats.
Did we want to set up watches just to make sure to check for or to watch for other dragons and goblins that come around? I don't know what's going on with my brain today. don't ask questions. I'm waiting for it to kick in again for the coffee.
Lan can take third and fourth watch.
Third and fourth watch. For you, Lan?
Correct.
Okay.
Four couple will take one. I guess the first one.
First one, okay. Sir Aldrich will offer to either join or take one if you want.
Ezekiel can take the second one.
Okay. Leora looks around. Well, at least we'll have plenty of shelter within these camps. We don't necessarily have to set up tents if you think about it. They stink, but I guess it'll do. Leora looks around at them, in her adventuring gear, of course. She breaks out some of her wine and looks around. Before we all retire for the night, let's propose a toast. This could be the last time that I get to adventure in a while. And I just have to say that it's truly been a rush for me, something that's been missing in my life. It's been very exciting traveling alongside you. So in addition to the reward I promised you earlier, I will ensure that your legend is built in Evanthorn through the bards and all the taverns in the north. So would it be okay to toast to that as she pours a glass for herself?
Lan will take a glass and say, "Yeah, I'll drink to that."
Okay.
Four couple will, but she wants to. Four couple wants to ask the princess, like, well, you're a princess, aren't you? Can't you do whatever you want? Just tell them I'm gonna go do this and do it. People have to listen.
She takes a sip of her wine and then sort of chuckles. Unfortunately, that's not quite how it works. My father is the king, but the king is on the Council of Five, so it's complicated. but I don't have that much power. I have power over my knights that serve me, like Sir Aldrich here, but that's just about as long as my reach can go. I have meager political influence.
Well, maybe if we take down your brother and his shenanigans that he seems to be planning, you'll get more power. It'll be fine.
She looks at the ground and sort of swirls the wine in the glass as she stares at it. Well, that's what I'm worried about. Is just really just framing how I'm supposed to ask him about all of this. So Aspen for sure will take a toast and choose a watch, I guess. She'll go on one of the watches or something. Whichever one. She'll join someone on a watch, I guess. Let me see.
Maybe the third or fourth with Liam, because I think he was by himself.
Okay. So Fazir, I would say that you trance probably what, like maybe an hour or two into them toasting and then sleeping and starting watches. Sounds about right, I think.
As soon as Ezekiel said that, I almost said earmail, I would have just gone down after taking those items
Okay.
from.
So you'd be 2 hours into your trance by the time watches start. So the first watch goes by, and at the end of the first watch, you come out of your trance.
And then I just want to start identifying the 3 items.
Okay, you may do so now that you've had your rest. Let's see. All right, so you identify the items. I'm scrolling in the wrong window. Here we go.
Probably would have asked for the wand as well, just out of curiosity. So 4 identifies.
All right, so you begin to identify the items. We'll start with the cloak. It is a cloak of elven kind. All right, next will be the pearl. All right. Hang on just a second. My roll 20's slowing down. Can't contain all this awesomeness that's going down. Okay, the pearl, if this will load, is a pearl of power. The belt, right? The belt. Okay. Purdy Pearl. Okay, the belt is, drum roll, belt of Hill Giant Strength. And the wand is a wand of web.
I'm sorry, sir.
Wand of web.
Oh, cool.
All right. So, it is now break time if you guys want to go to break right now while you're in the midst of watches.
Yeah, that works.
And I'll give you time to sort of look over the items as well. So yeah, let's take our 5-10 minute break or whatever and resume.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. Me too.
think we're mostly here now. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, hang on. Let me finish making this smoothie.
We didn't have to attune to the Veilkeeper artifacts, correct?
No, if it doesn't say, no, if it doesn't say that it requires attunement, then it doesn't. I don't believe they do. I haven't checked their sheet, the cards in a second, but yeah, if you load up the artifact
It
sheet,
doesn't say anything about attuning.
then yeah, it's probably not. It's probably not required. All right, I'm back. I'm ready.
Kevin, you good?
Is back.
Cool. Yeah, we're good.
Yep, I'm good.
Does anyone have any particular desire for the cloak of elven kind? If not, Lan will take it, but he's definitely going to wait and see if anyone else wants to claim it first.
Group discussion. Oh, did we go through our second long rest go well?
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, everyone was able to get a long rest without a problem. No returning goblins to the camp. At least for now, it seems, as morning comes around.
I will have had. I would assume I would have just gone. I'd be at a like a campfire with these just 2 or 3 feet away from the fire, waiting for everybody to wake up.
I have a question. Would I be regaining arrows, like during a long rest or anything like that?
Good question. So, after each instance of combat, if you use arrows in combat,
Mm-hmm.
you regain half of what you expend.
Gotcha.
Unless there's some reason that, like, if you now outside of combat, right, or still, I guess, within combat, if the arrow hits something that melts the arrow, then that one's gone forever, of course.
Gotcha.
But as long as there's no sort of circumstance for a piece of ammunition like that removes it from existing, then it's half that you spend.
Would we be able to loot any arrows from the goblin camp?
You would, yes. There are plenty.
Okay. Lan is going to. He's at 12 of 20 right now, so he's just going to grab 8 of them. So he's fully good now.
Very well.
How do you know how many is your total arrows? Like what you should have.
When
Is
you
it
load up
just
your, so we can set up ammo tracking on your sheet. I think. Let me check. I think I've got that thing. I think I've got it going. The script. I don't know, but let me load up your sheet. All right. So right here. So you have 20 per quiver. And in your inventory down here, you see where the arrows are underneath your quiver and that list of item names, like where the traveler's outfit is and stuff at the bottom of the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, your arrows will decrease as you subtract them from that list. So let's say you have 18 up here.
Yep.
All right, so if you lose one, then automatically adjust your weight according to the 0.05 weight of the arrow
Got it.
that you launch. Now, of course, when you get that arrow back, you come up here to this box on the right that's underneath the long rest button over here. And you can, when you shoot an arrow, you can subtract it that way or add, etc., etc. Now you can make more of these little resource tracking windows over here, where it says favored foe, and you got that little window right there for arrows. Like if you buy another quiver of arrows for like your backup set of ammunition, you can also add it there and track your additional arrows from your backup quiver on your sheet that way.
I see.
Yeah, you can do it that way or any way you want to, really.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna follow Land's lead and at least pick up 2 more so that my current stash is full.
Very well.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are
Sam,
plenty of unspoiled arrows around to grab. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, Sam, I'm streaming right now, so if you pull up my stream, you'll see my player sheet, and I have like 7 different resource tabs.
Oh,
so what
okay.
I do,
So that's all those tiny boxes on the right there. Is that what that
yeah,
is?
under short and long rest. So yeah, basically anything of mine that takes a resource or I can do X amount of times, I create a little box just to help. So my ADHD, because my ADHD would fucking forget everything. So
That's how my brain feels from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Makes me feel
So
better.
yeah, that's why I do all these little resource boxes. Is so as soon as I use it, I go up and mark it down. So, but yeah, that's what I do.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, if you think that'll help you, then do that. Yeah.
I would say
Whatever you got to do.
help make sure she has the repeating shot on her bow because it gets you a +1 to attack rolls and damage rolls just to get that set up.
Yeah.
Then fuse
It's
your
easy.
bow.
Attack rolls and damage rolls, right?
Yep, +1 to both.
Repeating arrow? Or what?
Shot. It's called repeating shot.
And that's an additional
+1 bonus to attack and damage rolls when used to make a ranged step.
So this is something you're giving me constantly?
Yeah, it's basically an enchantment on your bow, so it does that every time you use it.
And it's just +1 damage as well, right? Yep. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's +1 to roll and damage.
Okay, I set up modifier boxes for you, Soot.
Thank you. I'm watching you do it, so it's nice to see it happen real time.
Yep, so anytime she, between rests, our Artificer can give you buffs, and give the party buffs to their equipment, such as she did to you, and this will fade, I think, if she chooses to switch it. I think that's how that works, between long rests or something.
Correct.
Yeah, it stays until I decide to take it off, or we switch it to somebody else, or I die.
Gotcha.
It lasts a number of days after I die. Or
so until further changes, it's on your You can leave that check marked, and it should apply to your attack rolls automatically. So there you go.
Thank you.
Plus, it
Cool.
makes it a magic weapon, and so if people have resistance to
Yep, it
magical
helps.
weapons, it makes it there.
Yep, some enemies have resistance to piercing damage, so when your arrow hits them, whatever damage you roll, it only does half damage to them. Like if a creature has a really strong hide, like a dragon. Like a regular, no matter how sharp the axe is, it's not going to be able to do full damage to a dragon's hide.
Gotcha.
This overcomes that. Okay. So, you've long rested. What do you plan to do once you guys sort of gather around after awakening?
I was waiting for everybody to wake up so we could discuss options of divvying out the enchanted items.
Okay. Y'all go ahead and y'all go ahead and do that. It's your items, so you guys get together and you have these items. Go ahead.
Looks like Land's taking the cloak, huh?
Land's gonna kind of sit there with his hands folded, and like he said earlier, he's just gonna wait. And if no one else claims it or makes a move for it, then yeah, he'll use it. But he's definitely gonna wait and kind of give everyone else a chance to say yay or nay about the cloak, because that's really the only thing that he'd be interested in.
Well, essentially, I will just, once everybody's around and I guess munching on rations, I'll explain what each of the individual items are and suggest that the group divvy out items to what
Alright.
we think the group needs and who will benefit the group the most to have it.
Let's hear it, Vizier.
Oh no, that's it. Like it's group discussion. Who do you think that needs the cloak of Elvenkind most?
I already have a cloak, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, that's the Lan was gonna suggest was giving it to Soot, but then everyone reminded him that your artifact is a cloak, so it's like, oh well, there goes that idea. So, like for full transparency, Lan has the boots of Elvenkind already, which already do half of what the cloak does. So it's more Lan would take the cloak if no one else will, just so, because it's still good. It's still an item that should be used. So it's more he would rather take it and use it, and instead of just letting it sit in the bag of holding and it doesn't get used. So that's kind of Lan's, I guess, not argument, but his way of thinking or his wisdom about it.
Makes sense.
But yeah, if someone else is like, oh, hey, I think I could use it, Lan's like, gonna be like, by all means, take it. But yeah, if no one else does, he'll take it.
Any thoughts on the Pearl of Power, anybody?
Well, I was gonna ask Cody, no matter who gets it, can we turn the pearl of power into like a ring to essentially it just kind of like holds the pearl? Not that the ring part itself has any power, but easy way to hold it and carry it with you.
What do you mean?
Just from the rings that we found. Using one of the rings that we found in the goblin's secret chest can for Kappa kind of craft it to where the pearl is attached to it, and or like just make it look like a regular ring.
How big is the pearl? I think the pearl of power is pretty big.
Oh, is it?
I think it's like palm sized. It's like a
Oh,
orb.
well, then never mind. I was thinking just like a little like oyster pearl. Yeah.
It's just that it is called the pearl of power. That's what its magical property name is. But in
Okay.
realism, it's the size of like the
Sounds like a
Saruman
kinda.
like the Saruman Palantir orbs. It's about that size.
Oh, well then never mind. I was thinking like an oyster pearl, but we have like an actual pearl. Never mind.
Good idea though. It's a really neat idea. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. So I'll tell you what. I'll give you inspiration for that idea because I think it's actually quite creative. So take 1d6.
I have to write it down because I will forget about that.
I was sitting there thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, well, taking the Pearl of Power and being able to house it into a ring from an artificer standpoint, that's really cool. If it were smaller, yes.
I just underestimated the scale.
One thing you have done with Mr. H is you do know that the magical properties of an item that is already magical, you can resize it because within the um whatchamacallit, the alchemical math that creates magic, right? Part of it is the resizing, auto resizing of the holder. That specific property can be switched manually, and you and Mr. Hagenbachendock have done it before in the store and done such things like fit pearls into rings in similar ways. So you can resize the pearl if you were in your shop.
Here, we might save that idea for later if we ever find this shop or go back to it to where we have the resources to do so.
Okay. Just add that on so in the future if you run into something like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, for the spellcasters, do we want to rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the Pearl of Power until then?
I'm done for whatever.
Or at least magic users who would be interested in it?
We're gaining spell slots. I think that's all of us.
I mean, pearl's one of the most useful items in the game.
Yep, I was gonna say we were thinking just pretty much any spellcaster who wants to try to get it, we could just roll like a D100 and whoever gets higher just for a rock, paper, scissors to see who wins.
You can do it, yeah. That's up to y'all, yeah, totally. That's between y'all.
Yep, so Anna can if she wants to, but just whoever gets the highest gets first dibs.
To
I mean,
roll
I
a
wouldn't mind
D100.
having a wand of web if nobody else wanted it, and then someone else can take the pearl. But
Yep, that
I
works.
didn't know if there was any interest in the wand of web for anyone else.
I don't think anybody's called it yet, so I think you're good.
I don't know if you have to tune that wand, do you? I don't think you do.
It requires attunement.
Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. I was like, okay. Some of the wands you can just use, like use an object. But okay, cool. Well, that's what this will still be considered. Your action to use an object, obviously. I was thinking you could just it was just an item you could pick up and use in that way. Okay, among the cast, it looks like Four Cuppa's got the highest number so far is getting the Pearl of Power. Somebody else wants to roll for it, you can. Otherwise, it'll be hers.
It's all
And
yours.
of course, as I mentioned, just tactically, this is more for Soot's benefit than the rest of the party, because they already know most of this. You can swap these items around while, like, in the middle of, like, when you go between, like, rests and stuff. Like, if you look at these items, it's like, okay, maybe we should give the pearl to this person, because if they need to use Fireball three times instead of just being able to use it twice, that's a big deal. Or could be a big deal. Just tactically thinking with your table. Yeah, that's just another way you can look at it. And all you'd have to do is that person would have to unattune. It only takes an hour to pass it to somebody and they attune. So yeah. And everybody has 3 attunement slots. Just a reminder.
Does anybody want to put forth an idea on who gets the hill giant strength?
Ezekiel's helmet is very much turned and staring at the belt, but he'll say, I mean, my strength isn't what it used to be, so I would very much like to have it, but if someone else has more use of it, then that is also okay.
Lan, as Ezekiel is staring at the belt intently, Lan is just going to reach forward and grab the belt and just start moving it away from him, just very slowly, just to see what he does. See if his eyes keep tracking it.
His helmet moves along with the belt, just watching it, completely ignoring what Lana's doing.
Well,
You
don't we
are
kind of
like
think Aspen
basically-
might want it too? Like, should we just have them rock, paper, scissors for it?
Aspen has an 18 in strength right now.
You
to
think-
not be metagaming, but she is okay on strength. If it would benefit Nikki more, I think Deborah would be more down for whoever it would benefit the most.
Yeah, but she hits her
Yeah.
I'm
attacks
just
more often.
trying to be fair, since
No, it's
I'm
fair.
assuming she's also a strength-based character.
No,
well,
that's why he suggested that if anyone has any better ideas that he's willing to hear. He just has a strength score of 14, so he would like to hit things more often, is where he's coming from.
I think Aspen would be all right with that.
You don't do push-ups in the morning?
Aspen
Ezekiel?
hits. Aspen lands a lot of hits, so, and she hits hard already.
She would joke around with you like, "Oh no, I
Yeah.
think I want it," but she would ultimately give it to you because it would.
She's already hitting hard. But that would be, I mean, I can't speak for her, but I think I agree with the table though. I think we know Deborah pretty well. If not, y'all can fight it out when she gets back. But
Exactly.
okay.
So then, as Lan hands the belt to Ezekiel, he'll grab it and he'll clip it around his waist and he'll start attuning to it.
Okay, go ahead and pull it onto your sheet. Now it should change your strength score. I think is what it's supposed to do, or something, right?
Yes,
Here we
it
go.
boosted to 21.
21. Yeah, so it should just change your score to 21 as you drop the belt from the compendium onto your sheet. So just pay attention to your strength score and make sure it switches. Goblin to the east there? No, probably not. There's just a bunch of tokens I dropped onto the map. No, that was a hidden token. It's not actually there.
I'll just stand up and so all right, now that's settled. I'm gonna scour the supply carts for any supplies that might be usable to us, and just double check on what we checked on last night for rations or extra ammunition we can carry.
All right. So now that it's brighter outside, roll an investigation check. I'd say you do find once again plenty of arrows and javelins. In the higher numbers, like in the 50s, 70s of each or so. That's like 70 quivers of arrows, so 70 times 20. And then, as far as like rations, you don't see much that would be edible. Like much of the food here doesn't look safe to eat that you find. So in the way of supplies, you don't find much.
And I'll go back to throwing bodies onto the fire.
Okay, you're gonna burn the goblin bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pile up the goblin bodies and fire bolt them, I assume.
On like a literal fire, like kind of like well, fuck, I might be able to find a gift for it. Yeah, the orcs
Like-
being burned from Rohan.
Oh, okay,
I
the
was gonna
orc
say, like Darth Vader style.
orc fire. Gotcha. So make a big pile of orcs and just set it on fire. Gotcha. Very well. So you do that. You pile up as many of the wargs, ogres, and orcs as you can. It takes roughly an hour, and you set it on fire. It begins
More
to
like
smolder.
an intimidation factor to keep other goblins away.
Yeah, it begins to smolder grotesquely, like as the flesh begins to simmer. All right. So, what next?
So I suppose we need to head north still, right? You guys had this whole idea of dropping this princess off somewhere, right?
That's
Those
right.
are
We
correct.
do need
Yes.
to keep heading to Evanthorn.
I gesture for the rest of the party to lead the way because I can't even spell the word you just said, so I'm not really sure where we're headed.
Before we officially head off, Ezekiel wants to cast. Where the fuck is the spell?
Find seed.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's going to summon like a war horse, like Shire horse, and he's going to offer it to the princess first if she wants it, and then if she doesn't, then anyone else who wants it.
He
Specifically, like a white Shire horse.
That'll be white.
She looks over at Aldrich, and Aldrich just nods. He's like, "It'll be all right." And she looks over. Sure, I would love to. And she smiles at you.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna. Ooh, can we go back and grab a cart? There are plenty of carts in the goblin camp. Do you think we could utilize that?
I mean, I think the steed stays up until you dismiss it. Right? Pretty sure. That you summon the steed and it's just there. Yeah. I don't think it disappears after any normal amount of time.
No, it stays
Yeah.
unless it either dies or I
Has
desummon
to,
it.
yeah, it has to die. So yeah, it's there until you desummon or it drops to 0. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, technically, I mean the steed could stay there and pull stuff.
I mean, you can also attach Ezekiel to it and he can help the horse pull it. Now he has his 21 strength. We have a horse and an Ezekiel pulling the cart.
So we can have 2 carts?
So we can have everybody else ride in it. The cactus.
Yeah, when the belt finally attunes to you, Ezekiel, you feel this rush of arcane power from the belt, and this the silent roar of a hill giant resonates in the back of your mind as your muscles grow in density and size, a little bit uncomfortably against your armor.
Seeing that he's almost like bursting out of his armor, for Puppa will be like, "It's okay, we can help you resize it, you know. You had to go up a couple clothing sizes. We'll help you tailor it to fit a little better."
Yeah, Ezekiel is now walking slightly uncomfortably as he's getting squished by his armor. Kind of making that sound as he's walking.
So you proceed to travel north. Very well. You make it to here, and one day elapses as you remain on the trail, I'm assuming.
Correct.
All right, and at the end of the day here, what would you like to do? You want to continue traveling and risk exhaustion, or do you want to rest? Just for reference, those are pretty much the options at the end of every day. Do you want to stop and rest, or do you want to go and do something else?
I would say we're gonna stop for the night and rest. No, like, I mean, yeah, we need to get her back to Evanthorn, but we're not aware of any, like, emergency or imminent, you know, like an extreme press of time. So I think, yeah, we would
Agreed.
stop.
Okay. So stop and rest. Very well. So you just you stop and rest on the next day. Nothing too fancy going on weather-wise, of course. It is sort of getting closer to the fall-ish season in Evanthorn. Right? I think it's what season we were in, Mr. Land, our Eladrin fellow. I think it's fall. Pretty sure it's fall. Yeah,
Yeah.
should be fall right now. Yeah, it is. Okay. So it's like a normal fall, sort of autumn-like weather as you begin to approach the forest of Evanthorn, which is only a day's travel north away. Will there be watches this evening or no?
Yeah, Lan will take 3rd and 4th watch.
I'll take first and second.
Okay. All right, just some rolls here. Overnight you see there's on each of your watches it's really a full sort of cascade of stars overhead in the night. You see a few shooting stars that collide with one another far off in the space and create quite the sort of beautiful celestial show for you as the night elapses. The little celestial starlight entertainment for each watch. And you all get a long rest. So, what would you like to do? Keep going north?
Follow the yellow
Onward.
brick road.
Onward, okay. So, you move onward through the hills and the plains of Evanthorn. This sort of area that becomes heavily forested and the grass has become very, very thick and much more tall as you enter the forest that is part of the port city. So you have entered the forest. You notice immediately there's this almost magical feeling to the forest itself. Having not been, either some of you have or not experienced this before, but the path to Evanthorn is quite awe-inspiring. The trees are immensely tall, and the grass is very thick in between the trees and so forth. Little sunlight breaks through the canopy, which you will notice tomorrow morning, assuming you long rest here.
I think so.
Yeah, I would assume we just keep traveling and long resting while it's safe and everything like that till we get to where she needs to go.
I'll take
Okay.
first watch and second watch.
Okay.
Third and fourth.
Leor comes forward. So, now that we're under the protection of the forest, I think we can go a bit more loose. See, now you're officially in Evanthorn's jurisdiction, so technically you are under my protection. So we won't have to worry about being attacked on the road without someone wanting a severe penalty.
I don't want to bring that thought to a sour note, but there is a plot to.
Right, well, yes, good individuals do not follow rules. Right, I'm well aware, so we must all still be on alert.
We go at a little bit faster pace tomorrow.
I think we could risk a faster pace if you wanted to. More of a, we should be seeing more traffic as we get closer to the capital.
Thoughts, everybody?
I'm with you.
I say once we hit traffic, then I think we're safe. But I agree, yes, I think we should go at an accelerated pace.
All right, so you long rest here? And are you doing, visitors doing first and second, or just first? Was that you,
Again?
Fazir? Was
Yeah,
that you,
first and
Fazir?
second. Yeah.
Okay, first and second. Okay. Aldrich will take second with you, and then third. I'll have the NPC take up a watch so he can lower the DC of being surprised at night. That's what that's for, by the way, Soot. It has a selecting watches on your rests if you need it, right? Assuming you're not in some sort of safer environment like a magnificent mansion or something like an arcane mansion. Taking watches overnight, the reason the party elects to do that or not is what I'm doing overnight is rolling on like what's called an encounter table.
Mm-hmm.
And so a random encounter might happen, like you get attacked by a bugbear or something, right?
Gotcha.
So the way you can do the watches is a lot of different ways. The way I explain it is kind of any check that you describe, like if you describe to me in depth what you're doing on your watch, then it may alter the DC and chances of you being surprised by anyone. So yeah, just to touch on that for a second.
Pork Chopper will take the fourth if nobody else wanted it.
Okay. We can put Aspen on third or something. All right, cool. We'll do the rolls. Okay. Slight temperature drop, but that's due to the forest canopy. as you enter. But morning comes by, and it's sort of you feel the cold dew on the air. That's to be expected. Humidity change as now you're in a densely forested environment. Let's go north. I feel like I've asked you already too much what you intend to do. For brevity's sake, are you long resting here?
We
Okay. Same watch rotation or different?
Keep it the same.
I mean, we could slot people into like, okay, I'll take first and second, and then that can be y'all's watches forever, unless for some other reason, like for a role play reason, for example. Like if you wanted to be on a watch with a different person, like if you and Aspen get in an argument and you guys usually take watch together, maybe you don't want to be on watch with that hoe anymore.
Perfect.
Yeah, maybe you want to be salty and not be on that watch, right? So it won't lock you into it that way.
I would say we just kind of set up a rotation for watches unless something else happens to affect it otherwise.
Sure.
I can just stick with first and second. I need 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, like any of the elves who can trance, take 2 of them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So he
rotate it
could he could take the first 2 and then just trance, and that's his rest. So yeah.
I was gonna say I'd be in that same ballpark.
Yeah, because you're an elf too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you could take 2 watches and then trance, and you only need 4 hours of rest as well.
I'll do 3 and 4 then.
Okay. So you'll be on 3 with Aspen, and then 4 with Forcuppa, I think said 4th. Whoever. Okay, yeah, I think it's Forcuppa.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let me do the rolls. All right, all good. So, next morning you begin to head north again, correct?
Can I forage for something to eat? Because I'm out of rations.
Sure. Survival check as you hunt for edible berries or things of that in the forest, nuts, berries, things like that.
Did you say nature or survival?
Survival. Yeah. Okay. You are able to find a few blackberries and these sort of I'm just gonna call them blueberries. Just keep it simple. Blackberries and blueberries. You do find a handful of berries that are edible that will sustain you at least for a few hours.
I'll just eat the blueberries, but give blackberry the blackberries.
Okay.
I will grab those blackberries from Vizier and say, I think you understand where he got his name, huh?
Just educated guess.
Educated.
Can we hunt and make our own rations? Yeah. You do have a skilled hunter in the party that can definitely do so before you decide to. I mean, yeah, you guys can make camp early, and then that gives you a few hours to hunt and stuff like that. So you could definitely stop on the road around 7 p.m. and be like, all right, let's just go ahead and get the camp up. And while you guys are getting the camp up, I'm going to go hunt. You can definitely do stuff like that. You just have to verbalize it for me. Otherwise, you just, unless you eat something else, unless you sort of explain to me that you're eating something else, you subtract 1 ration per day off of your inventory. Or like if someone's prepared food for you or something, in that obvious case, you don't subtract a ration. So yeah, you can also hunt if you need to.
At camp, before we all start sleeping, Ezekiel's gonna walk up to Soot and ask her, since we're starting to get pretty low on rations, would you mind trying to go and hunt for some possible game so we can at least feed ourselves until we get to Evanthorn, when we can buy supplies. Would that be something you're able to do?
I think that's something I can help with.
Can we just make a day of it? Because I would imagine we still have quite a few days left.
That's true. We've got what, probably 4 days?
Well, she can hunt longer. She can hunt longer too, because she can trance too. Like in the hours other creatures come out, for example. Like while the first watch is going on, you could spend that 2 hours hunting as well. That is
Okay.
one way to do it.
Let's do that then.
I'm not trying to step on y'all. I'm not trying to step on.
I don't know my options, so that's better to know.
Right. That's the only reason I'm really. I try not to speak too much, and I want you guys to drive where you're going. And you pretty much said over. I don't feel like repeating the question, so you guys have said, "Oh, let's just go north. Let's just go north," right? So I've stopped asking that, but like, when it comes to stuff like this, I think it's a good opportunity to stop and explain the point of the watches. You know, like there's a certain DC number when I roll for an encounter that the roll has to hit. And if you have more people on watch, that lowers the chances of you being surprised by whatever it is. You know, being stabbed by a bandit in your sleep, for example.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of the watches. The more people you have on watch, the less likely it is somebody's gonna sneak up on the camp. All right.
So I need to roll for something here?
So you are hunting, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So what you're gonna do is roll, just roll a survival check. Nice. All right. So Soot is able to sort of go through the forest of Evanthorn, and she's able to approach these. You see these this small game like rabbits and squirrels. You're able to successfully hunt down. I would say 7 rations worth of small game.
Every night before she goes out, can I cast Fortune's Favor?
Yeah. So yeah, Soot. Next time you can get kind of
I'll
like
get
a point of
advantage.
luck. Yeah, pretty much advantage. And you roll d20 and choose which of the rolls you want. If he casts that spell on you before you go hunting.
Gotcha.
So if you wanna roll again, we can say that he cast it on you before you went out tonight. And I'll allow you to roll again if you want, just to see if you get anything higher. You could get a crit.
If I go higher, okay. All right, let's give it a go. Why not? Same.
Oh, not bad. Same. So yeah, you get 7 rations worth of small game to cook and prep.
All right, and then I will bring that back to the campsite and offer some to Fazir and Ezekiel since it was your idea in the first place.
It's for the group, the betterment of the group. Keep us light on our toes and our bellies full.
Okay, so should I keep it on me then, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can add the 7 rations down there to your inventory if you want.
All right, well, that's what I'll do. All right, so that's done. So now we sleep and move on. Yes.
When you get back with the game, let's see, Leora is going to suggest maybe now that things have quieted down, maybe she gets to know you all better.
Oh, I thought this was going on during watches.
This would be before. This would be collectively like around the fire as a full party before you even have to start the first watch. This would be probably like 30 minutes before the first watch goes down or something.
Oh,
Like
then
when
the second set of hunters would go out like 30 minutes before sunrise or something like that.
I mean, you can. I don't know. You can do it however you want. I'm just saying she's wanting to get together and sort of talk to you guys at some point. Whenever you hunt is up to you. But you don't have to talk to her.
Fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, she sort of gathers around, and Sir Aldrich's sort of brushing over his sword with a whetstone again, as usual, just sort of laying it on his lap. And she just sort of breaks out that sort of that ruby red wine again, and pours herself a glass and offers some to the rest of you. I think we can afford a little bit of luxury. We're on the home stretch now. And yeah, it's really been sort of a quiet since the goblin camp, so I think before I get to the capital it would benefit me greatly to know a little bit more about my saviors that I'm talking on behalf of with my family. So she looks around, and for example, this lovely fairy that's in your group that plays the wonderful music.
Am I being called out because I didn't submit a backstory?
No. You don't have to tell her anything. But she's just wanting to just know, she's wanting to know you a little more. Wanting to get to know you guys a little better. You guys can choose how you talk to her. You can, you know, any one of you can respond. It's not like she's just addressing one of you. She's just saying, for instance, I would like to get to know Sienna a
I mean,
little
I
more.
guess in response, I could be like, well, is there something in particular you'd like to know?
When did you start playing music? It's a good place to start, I guess, right?
Oh, I started when I was very little. I guess I'll insert backstory that I have not officially written down. Okay, like side note.
I see.
But more or less, I will say that like um that she was basically adopted by an elderly-ish sort of couple, and her adopted uh, father, I guess you could say, was a musician, and her adopted mother was, I guess, a dancer. And with both skills combined, I've become what I've become. And that's more or less what I have come up with.
Well, you're very skilled. Very skilled at what you do, it seems, at least. Very gifted with the use of the vein. Very interesting, the way you use it with your instrument. Like coalescing the magic through the music is a very interesting thing to me. It always has been. And she takes a sip of her wine and then looks around to the rest of you.
Forkappa wants to ask Anna, do you know any other instruments besides the violin? Or is it just that?
I mean, I'm also able to play the flute and the lyre, but my main instrument is the violin.
Makes sense.
A little harder to dance with a flute or Liar. I guess a liar I could probably do earlier. How do you say it? I think it's a liar, right? I don't. But the violence, the easiest one to move around with.
Sienna, where do you get all your insults from? Because they seem to be very good recently.
Well, I guess you could say my adopted mother had quite a sharp tongue, so guess I got that from her.
She sounds like quite the woman, I guess. Eesh.
I mean, like she's like nice and gracious and like a wonderful person, but I guess mainly the sharp words were towards my father. But all in good fun, nothing, bad, just all in good fun.
So, Princess, when you get home, what's the first thing you want to do?
Well, first thing I'll have to do is report into, because I'll be returning without what I left with. So typically, I would have to check in with the city watch first and report to them what happened to my knight, and they'll have to take my statement along with Sir Aldric's. It's all very, I guess it's a lot of admin work I'll be involved with that I'll have to do first. So it's less of what I want to do and what, kind of expected to do. You know what I mean? What I want to do is try to talk to my father about my brother Cedric. Because I'm trying very hardly not to think about the fact that my brother wants to have me killed. Just seems very obvious and nobody wants to say it. Maybe because I'm royalty and they think I might scold them.
Well,
See if
so
you-
what? Where's
see
the
if you-
answer I heard? Just say if someone tries to kill you, kill him right back.
She wipes a few tears away from her cheek and she just says, well, I have to keep my chin up then. So I know what my father would do if he were in my position, and that's what I intend to do.
That being,
I'll settle it in the way our family bloodline has always settled these sorts of disputes. A sacred trial of sorts between myself and him. And if I win, I take his place as heir to the throne.
nice.
Do you think anybody else might have been colluding with him, or do you think it's just him that's part of this plot?
He shrugs. Your guess is as good as mine. How am I supposed to know?
Well, from my perspective, very limited, mind you. He's brought more than one person into this plot. So it's a pretty serious conspiracy. Just assuming he's not alone.
So it's gonna gesture to the wine that the princess brought out and tell Ezekiel to pour her another glass. Looks like she needs it.
guess Ezekiel will reach over towards the bottle, kind of carefully, trying not to tear his armor, and pour her another glass into her cup, and then just set the bottle basically right next to her feet in case she wants a refill. Another refill, I should say.
Said I shouldn't overindulge. I need to have a clear mind while I'm thinking through this, but I'll have a few nights to sleep it off, and I won't be. I don't typically drink this much, I promise. It's just a lot of things have been happening, and I've got a lot of stress on my mind at the moment. So I apologize. I'm usually much more formal than this.
Sounds like we need a drinking game.
He raises an eyebrow. Really? A game?
Yeah, why not?
She shrugs.
Take your mind off of things, have a little bit of fun. We can all get a little loosey-goosey.
I suppose. Suppose that wouldn't hurt. But just explain to me the rules of these games, I guess. You can see she's sort of not sure really how to act. You can tell she doesn't really have the social skills, you know what I mean?
I don't really know its official name, but we could go with balance of power. Each of us will stand on, I guess, I imagine we're sitting on logs or tree stumps.
She just silently looks around and shrugs. I mean, I guess. I mean,
I was asking you. Sorry. Do we like chop down logs to make tree stumps to sit on, or roll them over so we can sit on multiples on one log? How would you have theater of the minded setting up camp?
good question. I mean, there would be places that you could just sort of stand on if you wanted to play that game, or does it have to be that game?
That's the only
mean,
game I know. So that's what I was going to suggest.
There are things like tree stumps and stuff around. I would say in enough of an abundance to sort of do it, yeah.
So we just, to the princess, I'll be like, so all of us that are drinking would pound a drink on top of a stool, and whoever is affected the most and falls off or steps off, they're out of the game. It's really just to help forget the woes of life, or to just get unabashedly hammered for joyful occasions.
Well, I haven't been drunk in some time. I don't know. Sir Aldrich is here. And I forbid him to drink if I am.
That's fair.
And he's fine with that. Aldrich speaks up. Yes, of course. I'll remain of sober mind, and I'll be watchful. So I assume this could draw a lot of attention. So Aldrich will sort of just stay watchful. So he won't participate. So you guys at least have a sober NPC just sort of keeping an eye on the environment. And Ezekiel, yep. So you guys can kind of just not really participate in the getting hammered if that's what you guys want to do.
I'll participate, but I'm not going to drink as much as everyone thinks I'm drinking.
For Kappa will ask Mr. Hagenbachendaka if she can play. 'Cause she said, or she thinks it sounds fun.
He nods because he is going to play as well. Okay, so what's the plan? Everybody stand up on 1 foot, right? On an elevated sort of, I guess, tree stump, or we'll say turned over tree, like a log or whatever. There's this big log you can all stand on. That'd be kind of funny. There's one big long log falling over in the forest. You can all just sort of stand on 1 foot on it at a safe enough height to not cause damage when you fall, but a funny enough height for it to be, be funny.
Like a big ass California redwood on the side.
So
Something
it's
Maybe
like
gonna
not
that.
that big. Not that big.
skip over to the log and jump up on one leg. And
It's stable enough with 2 feet. I mean, yeah, it's not like it's a little moist, but definitely if you made a sudden movement on 1 foot, you definitely fall. Go ahead, Soot. Sorry.
all right, I was gonna say I'm gonna jump up there on one leg and say, all right, I'll do it with one leg, not two.
Okay. So you jump up and try to land on 1 foot on it?
Yep.
All right, acrobatics check. Okay. All right. So you jump up and just gracefully land on 1 foot on the log.
Princess, come on.
Okay. She crawls up onto the log and stands up. Okay. She's she's still in her leather, so she's in her boots and stuff, like her leather boots. She's in her leather traveling gear, so she sort of tries her best to balance and takes her glass and says, "Okay, well, I guess all we have is the wine, right?"
Sit's gonna look around at the party and see if anyone else is going to join or just be lame in the corner.
Aspen is. Aspen thinks it's very fun.
Sienna would like to join.
Okay, so yeah, Aspen and Sienna are both joining in, so you got quite a bit of people, a lot of people. Got Sir
Ninja
Aldrich.
Boy, are you in?
Sir Aldrich's on the side, sort of just being the designated driver sort of thing.
Looks like Ninja Boy's passed out.
No, Lan will participate as well.
Okay, Lynn, you hop up on the log and you take sort of like this wine glass of. I guess all you have is the princess's wine glasses, huh? Out of her bag of holding, so she gets them out. I'll forgive you if you break them. I promise. And she sort of says, half-hazardly joking, you can tell, as the wine glasses are poured with the wine that she has from Evanthorn. And you all, so the thing is you have to chug it down and not fall off. So you have to hit a certain DC. So everybody would be rolling a Constitution saving throw. I think it was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw to maintain your balance as you chug down the glass.
Like a champ.
I already set up one.
I roll for Leora. D20. Natural 1. She fails 2 right off the bat. So she almost twists her ankle and just barely like falls down and braces herself on a hand and just sort of spits up some of the wine. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm not very good at this, I guess. And she gets back to balancing and prepares for the next round. Those of you that rolled 12 and above, you succeed.
3 of us fail.
All right, so you have to pass. You have to get 3 successes to win. That's the thing. So you just tally up. When you tally up 3 successes, you've won. No matter if you go back and forth, just to keep it streamlined. Okay.
Okay.
If you get a natural 1, you fail 2. If you get a natural 20, you get 2 succeeds.
No.
All right. So the next DC roll requirement will be 15. Roll a Constitution save. Oh, I gotta roll for Aspen. All right. She has a -1, so Leora is the first one out, of course, the lightweight princess. So she falls off the log embarrassingly, and Fizzer Feather falls on her. She manages to fall gracefully without too much embarrassment. Sienna, you get a natural 1 and you fail twice. It almost floors you. It's a very strong, very mortal drink. You can tell it's been concocted in some dungeon somewhere. It tastes like, but it's so divine, it almost floors you.
At least it tastes good. So it's a win-win kind of game.
So Soot, that is a failure for you. But you've already have 2 succeeds, Soot, because you rolled a natural 20 in the first one. Remember? So you just got to get 1 more above the DC and you're good. All right, the next one's DC 13, Constitution save. Oh, that's a failure, Soot. So it's 2 0 to pass. Couple, you've made it. Sienna, that's a failure out. Len, that's a fail. Len, I believe that is just 2 for you, maybe?
Correct.
That means
2
Fizir wins,
fails.
though?
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead. Soot, what was that?
Wasn't Fizir? He had a natural 20 then.
No, he didn't roll a crit. He rolled
Oh.
He rolled a 19, and his modifier is 2.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's
It'll
what I-
be
that's
it'll
my
be
third one. My
it'll be
third-
it'll be in green if you roll a crit. For cover, that's your 3rd dub, right?
Yep.
Yep. So you win. So for a couple wins, she beat everyone.
Tiniest little creature won the drinking game.
Because I didn't feel like rolling for Aspen, because she's not here. It's not fun without her actually to be here to do it. Deborah gets really into it.
Oh yeah. She'll
Deborah
be
gets
that
fired up.
one.
This is one of her favorite things to do. She gets fired up during shit like this, like more so than the battles.
She gets real competitive.
Yeah. So for Cuppa, the goblin somehow, Mr. Hagenbakken was on 2 successes and 1 failure, so he didn't do too bad. Let's see. Okay. So she looks around like, well, that was certainly something. Leora sort of smirks, and then she sort of makes her way back to camp.
We know of any other drinking games?
Do we know of any drinking games?
Dear Heavenly God, give us knowledge for new drinking games. Amen. I got nothing in response.
I mean, I know in the past we did like the, what's it called, like a keg stand thing, but I don't think we have the materials for that right now.
We can do that once we get into town or find a tavern. We can do that one.
Or Cuppa, you win for now. Rematch in town.
I don't think I've ever won a drinking game. I think in all of our campaigns, I think that's the first one I've won. but I'm happy.
You sure?
I think so. Maybe one other time. I
Man,
think
y'all see they don't see. Here's the thing. Here's what I've just noticed. Deborah likes to bet gold on some of these games, right? Like gold pieces. And it's fun. It's fun when you bet like make wagers and shit. You can do a lot of that in this game. There are lots of opportunities, especially in the bigger cities. The only reason I'm bringing that up is just for Soot's benefit, really, is that our party likes to do that a lot.
one of the few
That makes
times
sense.
I win, I didn't bet anything, so I didn't win nothing, just bragging rights.
Well, it's hard to make bets now with you're not as rich as you were in the other campaign. So you make more freer bets in the other campaigns. We had more gold pieces. But I've noticed that's more Deborah's thing, really. Okay, but however, you do sort of you successfully, embarrassingly or not, you end up having a decent time, sort of getting to know one another. If you want to do just for the sake of brevity, unless you guys intend to interact with one another or Leora, whoever, I will say for the sake of brevity, you do sort of have a more relaxed evening, and you're able to let loose a bit.
All right, shall we rest up then and make our way towards town? Call it a night.
Hell yeah.
Any watches?
I figured we're keeping it the same.
Yep.
I'll take 1 and 2.
Okay, one. Okay.
I was gonna say Aldrich can take the first one. Aldrich and Ezekiel can take the first couple while the rest of us kind of sleep it off for the drinking.
I'm cool with that. I just figured that me and Aldrich were taking at least the first watch because we didn't participate.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool deal. We do some rolls, y'all. So Ezekiel, I'm sorry. You're taking which watch?
I said I figured that me and Aldrich were taking the first watch.
First, okay. Okay.
I guess that gives me 3 and 4.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just doing the rolls and stuff. Okay. Okay. All right. So on the first watch, Ezekiel, Leora will approach and join you. She walks up and we've been blessed the last few evenings. The weather's been quite bearable, at least. Trying to make small talk with you as she just sort of strolls over.
I would say so, Princess. The weather has been fair to us.
She turns and looks at you. I feel like I recognize you from somewhere. I just not sure. You know, the more silent you are, the more noise you make to some people.
He kind of chuckle to himself, and then he'll go back to his serious demeanor, and he'll say, "Well, I just figured that the less people know about me, the past isn't exactly decorated with good deeds, and I don't like talking about it or reliving it.
I see. Yeah, I know what that's, I kind of know what that's like. However, I can't really say for sure I know what it's like to be expelled from any celestial domain, so I can't truly relate to what you're going through. Just your, I don't know, something about your armor reminds me of one of the knights in my family's court. I just, I don't know. I thought maybe you were familiar in some sort of way that was related to the crown, or not.
He shrugs and goes back to looking at the fire, and he says, "Maybe, maybe not. I guess we can get more confirmation once we reach the city, if that's something you want to dive deeper into."
Hmm. Well, either that or I can settle for you letting me see your face. I would prefer to look upon the eyes of my hero.
Um, I'm sorry, Princess, but I can't do that. If someone sees my face, it puts them in danger of a great many deal of things, and I don't wish to put the danger that I face against others, whether they be willing to receive it or not.
I see. Well, that's unfortunate. She sort of takes a sip of her wine and then will um, take off one of her charms, like charm bracelet things, and hand it over to you and say, "Here, if you wear this, it'll give you access to the resources at the city guard once we reach Evanthorn. Get yourself some new armor, some form-fitting armor. Some of the armor my knights wear are arcane in just the nature of fitting to the size that they change over their service time. This should allow you access. So here, take it."
He'll take it and attempt to wrap it around his wrist and buckle it together.
Okay. You can tell it snugly fits your wrist without a problem. Okay. She says, "Well, I'll see if we can convince my father to reward you more when we get back." And she decides to turn in and go to bed. And leaves you to the watch. And then the rest of the watches go down, I'm sure. Okay. Right. Now, it's around it's around the morning of um let's see. It's around the morning of, and the first people awake are Aldrich, Ezekiel, and Leora. The rest of you are still deeply asleep. And Ezekiel, it's a strange sort of scenario when you wake up to the rest of the party is sort of still asleep as the sun is just beginning to rise and sort of softly break through the limbs of the trees and the slow fog and dew setting in. Leora pours herself a glass of wine and takes a sip of it as Aldrich stands next to her, sort of posturing himself between you and her, Ezekiel. Leora says, we've been through so much together, haven't we, Ezekiel? You and the others. I wouldn't have made it this far without you to get back home. You've all done so much for me. I should be more thankful. There's something so beautiful, She strolls around the camp looking at all the deeply asleep party members. And your vision begins to haze in and out, Ezekiel, as she talks. Her voice deepens and then the clarity comes back as you feel yourself an odd sensation that you thought you were immune to take over. There's something beautiful about trust. You give it so freely, especially after everything we've faced together. She smiles and looks at you, Ezekiel, and gives you a chance to respond.
Instead of responding, can he do this? Like, can his response be doing this on her? And
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he wants to do that.
Okay. All right. Seems hostile.
That's not good. Am I able to move at all, or am I like in the middle of like passing out because I was like poisoned or something?
I mean, that would be your action doing that, so you still can try to move, sure.
I'm going to attempt to stand up because I'm assuming I'm still sitting on the log. I'm going to attempt to stand up and see how easy that is, or I guess hard.
All right. You go to stand up, and this sharp pain pierces through your mind. Make a Constitution saving throw as you just merely try to stand up. You fall back down to your knees as it feels like a strange sensation, like you're drowning in something, but you know that you're not. And consciousness is slowly pulling in and out, your vision fading a bit deeper, more frequently. As the bracelet around your wrist, you look down and it's glowing as it's gotten a little tighter on you. Leora swirls her wine, staring at the dark liquid in it. There's this flower, native to Forlonde's forests. It's rare, difficult to find, but powerful. It's called Shadesbane. Rather lovely, actually. Small, delicate petals, but its effects? Well, they're far from delicate. This immense dizziness hits you. I knew it would be difficult to administer it to someone immune, as I suspect you are immune to poison. Well, normally. But as I mentioned before, there's something beautiful about trust. She says it right in your ear, and it sort of echoes this eerily almost way that you're visioning a haze, like it waves over you when she says it. They didn't even see it coming. But you were immune. I'll give you the courtesy, I suppose, since you did save my life. I want you to know that it was me. You have a moment to respond if you want to, Ezekiel, as you fade in and out of consciousness.
He'll try to say, whatever you're planning, we'll stop you.
Well, that's certainly something that I'll have to think about. You were useful, but you see, I need to move forward without you all. This was never about me being helpless Princess Leora. No. I have my own plans, and unfortunately your part in them ends today. Your vision blurs. The world around you dims. Her voice becomes distant. But her final words cut through the fog like a knife. Sleep now. You'll wake eventually, but by then it will be too late. Stormwatch Bay awaits, and Greywater is expecting you. You fade out of consciousness, Ezekiel. As the rest of you remain in a haze, the warmth of the fire fades, everything turns to cold.
What was the last thing you just said?
The fire goes out, and it begins to get colder as the last remnants of feeling in your body leaves you as you go unconscious.
Did we all go unconscious just because we drank?
Feels like it.
Okay, so what if we pretended to drink in the drinking game?
You would have had to. You would have had to like signal to me that you were faking the drink, and then that would have required like a sleight of hand check to like toss it over your shoulder or something.
Got it.
Yep. Now faking it. I did remember that you did say that you intend to fake it.
Yep.
And that's fine, but you have to signal. You have to signal to me that hey, I'm gonna even though I failed the roll, I'm gonna fake the shot and try to toss it over my shoulder, and therefore you can roll sleight of hand. That gives the other players a chance to see what you're doing, see if you're faking it or not, and then therefore pressure you into actually doing it, so on and so on.
Gotcha.
So just
So
for
I
the
have
future.
So okay, so if that were the case, would I have whispered that to you or just say it out loud?
Either.
Okay.
If you say it out loud, then I'm trusting the table to behave as if they are their characters. So if they're not in the audience, they're not supposed to be hearing all this other stuff that's going on between one character and another. I used to have a private server for that, and I do for some things, but it's just not fun for like I think the table to be out of the loop. Like if there's like a secret cutscene going on that they can't see, I don't think that's particularly fun. For the players at least sitting at the table. So that's for future reference. However, let's see what happens here. We still have a few minutes. As time, an unmeasurable amount of time, an unmeasurable amount of time goes by. Greywater. But right now, Ezekiel was the only one that heard that. He was the last one that faded in out of consciousness because his poison immunity had to be overcome by the bracelet. I don't think because he didn't drink. So
To clarify, I don't think I have poison immunity. I think I have immunity to disease. I don't know if that's.
oh well, she made the wrong assumption and gave you something far more lethal.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
I just wanted to clarify that in case
you're, like,
that changes
super
things.
dead.
Like I'm not immune to poison. I'm immune to disease. But I am resistant to like necrotic, so I don't know if that is like the same or not. But
Does Aspen have something about poison? Because she's a poison mushroom.
It was
I
well,
know
if
I think
you,
there was something about it.
it
Or
was
is it just
a,
poison damage?
I think it's just the damage, not the condition itself.
Okay, cool. I just couldn't remember.
I think that's all the players on the map. Alright, now there's a few more doors here that I have to lay down. So I've goofed a little bit. Let me set them down here.
There's 2 tables.
Yeah, I accidentally pulled I pulled you guys over when I set up the map. Actually, this is the wrong fucking map in the first place. Hang on. Let me get the proper map. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let me get the proper map. Okay, I'll ping where to drop your tokens. Okay. Here.
Forget how to drop a token.
Pull it over from like click on soot over in the journal.
Mm-hmm.
Click and hold. Just drag soot from the journal and drop her over here, where I'm pinging the red ping. There you go. So now you should be able to see where you're at there.
Yep.
Alright, now I gotta set the doors down. That's enough for now. Zoom in. Alright. You guys, give me just a second. Make sure I got the door set properly. Yep, okay. So yeah, so you awaken,
Did you
in
want
the
to put Aspen?
fuzzy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just for Aspen, just to drag hers down for her.
Oh yeah, I'll get her on there. So you awaken a bit of a fuzzy haze, and the temperature is very cold. You notice as you awaken in this dingy sort of cell, and there's quite the breeze sort of blowing through. Well, not really. No, I'm sorry. There's no breeze at all. I'm lying about that. There's no breeze at all. As you find yourselves in this in this dungeon. You awaken. It's very dark as you look around, and you're surrounded by each other. Let me get Aspen on the thing. You were all looking around, fuzzy. Your mind, like you're sobering up from the anesthesia or something of the similar sort. You look around, and you're not shackled or anything like that, but you are in this dungeon as you awaken. In the last few moments before we end, what would you like to do? You rip
One
off
question.
the charm, Ezekiel. Okay. Yeah, so you rip it off and it snaps. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Soot.
Where's Blackberry?
You don't know.
Forkuppa has the same question about Mr. Hagenwakendaka.
Perception check as you both awaken and you look around as your vision's sort of really fuzzy and you're sort of just the sound is just now starting to come back to you.
Can I assist while trying to listen to, like, if there's sea sounds, bird sounds, bug sounds?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, make a perception check as you take in your surroundings as you sober up from this deep slumber you appear to have been in.
Can I speak with any mice in the room?
Perception check as you look around for mice. You look around, so you don't see any mouse like skittering about, unfortunately. Or any mice, rather.
Mices.
Mices. Just you and the last people you were seen parting with, suddenly, in a cold dungeon with these small pools of water pooling up in the edges of the room.
Can Ezekiel cast light on his? Well, first, do we have our weapons?
You do not. You are all unarmed.
Fuck. Okay. Well then.
All of your magic items, everything is gone except. No, yeah, your artifacts are gone too. Sorry. Your artifacts, and all your magic items. You don't have to remove them from your sheets, okay? Just keep them on your sheets for simplicity's sake, for now, okay? So don't just start deleting stuff from the sheet, please. No need for that. But your weapons, artifacts have been confiscated now. There are some of you who might be able to recall your artifact to you as if it was like a packed weapon. If so, good for you. You might be able to try that. But it seems like they found a way to disarm you from them. Whoever they are, as you find yourself in this dark and cold, still-aired dungeon. These pools of water pooling up as the dancing lights sort of float over.
Or I
Do I
guess
hear
would
anything on
my instruments be gone? Because then now I don't know if I can cast spells.
Yeah. You don't have spellcasting focus, so you can't coalesce your spells.
Like not even my flute.
No, all of your instruments are gone.
But I guess I can do literally nothing then. I will get rid of my dancing lights.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Unless you have a focus, there's no way that you can cast spells. And the spellcasters. I forgot before you started dropping them on there. I was like, well, I didn't even get to explain, but I was going to wait till you tried to cast the spell. So I'll take this as that sign that you have one of my favorite items, the spell dampening collar around your neck. So, like the mutants and X-Men, when they want them to behave, it snapped a collar around all of the arcane sensitive of you.
Okay, I don't know how to delete the dancing legs.
I get rid of them. But you find yourself in an ominous situation as you slowly sober up from what you can barely remember happening. I think
I'm
that's where we'll
assuming-
end.
So, never mind then. I'll ask
No.
next time.
What were you gonna do? What were you gonna do?
I was just gonna ask if they also took my thieves' tools, just to confirm.
Yes,
If I had
of course.
I figured just.
Of course they did. They took everything, guys. You're stripped of everything except for your clothing and armor. You're stripped of weapons, tools, anything that you might be able to obviously use to break yourself out of prison. Okay. Yeah, you're completely stripped of everything, and the mages have spell dampening collars on because some of you may not need to focus, and they don't know which, so they have these things, these wonderful little devices they can give to you. And that, I think, is a fitting way to end the session and leave you in suspense for next week.
Dun dun dun. Totally called that.
No, it's Belt from the crew. It's dun dun
Oh,
dun.
excuse me.
Yep.
Ah.
So,
Goddamn.
All right, Ezekiel. Next time the cute girl is hitting on you, you say yes.
No, this is only furthering.
No, just keep flipping your
This-
hair. It'll work. I promise.
This is only furthering Ezekiel's edgelordness, and so now he's just not going to trust anyone ever again. He's
Okay.
full emo kid now.
If a
We
girl gets close to you, kill her.
Lan
Just
is gonna
start doing,
find
like, gather size, and everything will be fine.
exactly. Well, that was a great session, especially at the end. That was great. I love twists like this.
That was a really good twist. Yeah, I like that a lot.
well, I'm glad you liked it. Now we will see. I guess you will be intentionally left in the dark because that's how it would be if you were drugged by a very, very powerful herb from the spirit world and rendered unconscious for an unknown amount of time.
Some bitch.
Okay. We will leave it in suspense, and you guys can describe to Deborah what happened, and that will be fun for me to listen how that unfolds.
It'll be a thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Glad you're able to make it a couple weeks in a row.
I know. Who is she?
Hell yeah, that's nice. We got to get more streaks.
I know.
Right. Well, thank you, sir. Everyone have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Bye.
Ciao.